welcome back. Today's flow is going to be focused on lower body. So we're going to get a lot into the hamstrings, quads, and then we're going to work towards pistol squats. So if you're like, no, I can't do pistol squats, you're not alone. I often fall out of them myself. It's a kind of a work in progress. We're primarily going to focus on building up some strength around it, kind of playing around with it, getting into it a little bit of a different way that's maybe a little bit more accessible because they're really hard. So don't worry if you don't already have that in your practice. If you haven't done one of my classes before, I do incorporate a playlist. I'll link it down below, YouTube number 2. It is an upbeat, fun playlist. You can do the music or not, totally up to you. But if you'd like to pause the video to get that set up, feel free to do that now. And we will go ahead and start it at the same time so that we are nice and synced up. So if you've got that ready, we will press play on 1. So 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, we're gonna start today in child's pose, letting those knees come out wide, maybe the width of your mat or so. Arms are reaching out in front of you, either a lot or a little. Forehead can be placed down on the mat. And just taking a moment here to settle into the mat, into your space. Filtering out any distractions that may be coming up, any noises you can hear in other rooms of your home. Just taking a moment to breathe here. On your next inhale, starting to press down through the fingertips, lifting the wrists up off the mat. Maybe taking a gentle sway. If this movement doesn't sound good to you, you can stay right where you are. And then when you're ready, allow both of your hands to walk over to the left side of your mat, placing the right hand on top of the left, feeling that opening in the side body. On your next inhale, coming back through center and over to the right side, letting the left hand cross over the right. Taking a breath here. Gently walking the hands back to center, pausing here for a couple more breaths. Releasing anything you've already decided about this class that you can or can't do. And just allowing yourself to meet yourself wherever you're at in your practice, without any judgment. Just allowing your body to move, to feel good, and to have fun with it. And on your next inhale, we'll slowly start to shift the weight forward, bringing your knees underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders, meeting in a tabletop position. Allow the belly to drop, tailbone to rise, chest to open up on that inhale. And on your exhale, press into the palms, round the spine, puffing up through the shoulders, tucking the chin. Inhale, drop the belly, open up the chest. And exhale, reversing it. Taking one more round here, maybe incorporating any other movements that sound good to you. Maybe gazing over one shoulder at a time. And then when you're ready, meeting back with a neutral spine. Let the right leg come out long back behind you, tucking the toes and just shifting the weight forward and back. So you're stretching through the ankles, a little bit through the legs and the toes. And then meeting back in center, start to lift the right leg, left arm will reach towards the front of your mat. Hips are squared down. Feel that strengthening, that stabilization in the core. Take an inhale, reach through the fingertips and toes. And exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Like rounding everything in. Inhale, reach it out long. And exhale, bring it in. Inhale, reach it out, last one. Exhale, bring that in. On your inhale, the right leg comes out long, left hand comes back down. And bending the right leg, slide it behind the left knee, sinking your hips back towards a child's pose, a little bit of variation. That left knee pops up. That's fine. Feel it on the outside of your left and right hip, really. Next, inhale, start to shift the weight forward, bringing that right foot all the way around to the outside edge of the right hand, letting the hips drop, chest is opening up. And on your exhale, straightening that right leg and folding into it. Hands are on the inside of that foot. Inhale, opening it up. And exhale, sending the weight back. Taking one more round here, just starting to open up through the hamstrings a little bit. And on your next inhale, plant those hands down, bring the right knee back underneath the right hip. Inhale, left leg comes back behind you, tuck the toes, shift that weight forward and back. Getting into that ankle a little bit, to the toes. And come back to center. Lift the left foot up, right arm reaches towards the front on your inhale, elongating through both the fingertips and toes. Stabilize the core. And exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale, reach it out long. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, reach it out. Last one, exhale, bring it in. And on your inhale, right hand comes down, left toes come back. Bend that knee, slide it behind the right knee. Send your hips back, coming into that child's pose. Allow yourself to rest here for a moment. And on your next inhale, bring that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Dropping the hips, opening up the chest. And exhale, send the hips back, straightening through that left leg. Inhale, bringing it back forward, bending the left leg. And exhale, send it back. Last one here, inhale, open it up. Exhale, send it back. And this time, pressing both hands down, send that left foot back behind you. Bring your hands out in front. Come on into your first downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet for a moment. It's okay if you have a bend in your knees. And on your next inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Start to take some baby steps up to the front of your mat. We're gonna start to pick up the pace here. Inhale, halfway lift, reach the crown of your head forward. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come to a halfway lift once more. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, arms reach up overhead. On your exhale, clasp your hands together, leaning over towards your right side. Doing a side body stretch, maybe gazing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, over to the left. Inhale, center, release your grip. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step your feet back, meeting in that high plank. Engage that core, feel that stabilization. And on your exhale, shift the weight forward, lowering down halfway. Notice my shoulders stay above my elbows. Then releasing the knees down, come all the way down your stomach. On your inhale, that chest lifts up, coming into baby cobra. Just starting to warm up the spine here. And exhale, lower back down. Firmly pressing your palms into the mat. This time we'll inhale, coming all the way up to full cobra. If that sounds good good too. If your back is not there yet, you can stay in baby. And exhale, lower down. Taking either of those options, or on your inhale, lift yourself up, upward facing dog. And exhale, hips rise, maybe rolling over your toes. You guys know I love that. Feels so good. Meeting back and downward facing. Take a breath here. On your inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. On your exhale, lean over to the right side, taking those tick-tocks. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, center, arms separate, hands separate. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Take whatever version of chaturanga best supports you today. Or maybe none, and you just meet right and downward facing dog. Inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Step or float to the front. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, arms up overhead. Exhale, once more over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Take that flow. Opening the chest up. And meeting back and downward facing. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Travel to the front. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. This time on your inhale, bring the hips down, coming right into chair pose. Toes are lifted. Check that tailbone. Pulling it in. We don't want your butt to be sticking way out. Protect that low spine. Sinking a little bit deeper for one more breath. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Take your vinyasa. And meet in downward facing dog. Take a breath here, pedal out the feet. Bringing that chest towards your thighs. And on your inhale, right toes rise. Bend that right knee, start to open up the hip. Big or small circles. And on your inhale, bring that right leg all the way back up. On your exhale, we're going to stay in this downward facing dog. Bring your right toes on top of your left heel. So it's just providing a little bit more weight, stretching out through the backs of the ankles. It's amazing how much opening you need for pistol squats here. Take a breath here. And on your next inhale, right toes lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, over to the right tricep. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, left tricep, keeping that tap there. Inhale, right leg rises. And exhale, step it all the way through. Placing that foot down on your inhale, lift yourself up. Crescent lunge, arms reach up overhead. On your exhale, hands will come down, frame the right foot, but stay here. Inhale, straighten through the right leg, pulling that right hip back. Exhale, sending it forward, rebend into the right knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, last one. Exhale, bend. Then on your next inhale, we're going to press those hands down, lift that right foot back, kick it all the way up, and exhale, take your chaturanga. Maybe that right foot stays lifted. Maybe that doesn't sound good today. Meeting back and downward facing. On your inhale, left toes rise. Bend that left knee, start to open up the hip. Going in one direction with those knee circles and then the other. And on your inhale, left toes lift. On your exhale, staying here, we're gonna bring that left foot on top of the right ankle. So I have my big toe on one side and the rest on the other. Just pressing that foot down a little bit, very gentle. Really just using the weight. On your inhale, left toes rise. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, over to the left tricep. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, over to the right, tapping that elbow. Inhale, three-legged. And exhale, step it all the way through. Inhale, lifts you up, crescent lunge. Arms are reaching up overhead. And exhale, frame that left foot, staying here. On your inhale, start to straighten through the left leg. Pull that left hip back. Exhale, rebend into the knee, opening that chest up. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bending forward. Last one, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Then planting those hands down on your inhale. Kick, oh, you can hear that noise. Kick that left leg all the way back. Take your flow. Opening your chest up. And meeting back in downward facing. On your inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Travel to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come back to that chair pose. Knee the hips down, arms reach up. Toes can be lifted so all the weight's in your heels. It's a good way to check that. One more breath here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Take your flow. And meeting in downward facing. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, stepping it all the way through this time. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, plant the hands on the outside of that right foot. Inhale, straighten the right leg, pull the right hip back. Exhale, rebend into it. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Last one, inhale, straighten, pulling that right hip back. Exhale, bend. Plant the hands down. Inhale, kick that right leg back. Exhale, take your chaturanga. Coming into downward facing. Other side, inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise. Exhale, frame that left foot, staying here. Inhale, straighten the left leg, pull the hip back. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bending forward. Last one, inhale, straighten. Exhale, plant the hands. Kick that left foot back on your inhale and take your flow. Meeting back in downward facing. And allowing those knees to drop down. Come back to child's pose just for a moment. Recenter, maybe grab some water. Take a breather. We're going to start to build up on this sequence. Again, this is just fun. If it doesn't work out for you, totally fine. We got a few times to practice, to play around with it. Maybe some sides will work for you, but other ones just will not at all. So when you're ready, we will meet back in our downward facing dog. Taking a moment to pedal out the feet. On your inhale, right toes are going to lift. On the exhale, start to walk your hands back towards that left foot. So you should be at the back of your mat here. If you need to slide up a little bit, if you're Stuck with some space at home, that's fine. And on your exhale, bend the right knee. Bring it back behind the left knee. We're going to take a Shiva squat. So your knee is dragging against your calf. Hands can stay down or they can come up. Inhale, kicking it back to standing splits. Oh man, you see these shakes? Exhale, bring it down to Shiva squat. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, squat. Last one here, inhale up. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale all the way up. And on this exhale, start to flex the right foot, bringing that foot all the way through, not touching the mat. And we're gonna come all the way down into a seat. You can slide up a little bit if you'd like to recenter yourself. Your inhale, arms rise up overhead. And exhale, reaching through to grab onto that right foot. Shin, knee, wherever you're at. If you are like me and you love binds, maybe you take one on that left side, reaching your arms through, around that left knee, right shoulder opens up. One more breath here. Then slowly starting to unwind. Left hand comes back behind you. Take a twist over that left knee. Gazing over the left shoulder. One more breath here. All right, now we're coming into playtime here. So we're gonna roll down onto our backs. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Remember that right leg was out long. So we're gonna roll forward and back, coming into the very start of a pistol squat, using a little bit of that momentum. So every time I come forward, I'm pressing that left foot down. Notice my seat is lifting up off the mat. Maybe it does a whole lot, maybe just a tiny bit. Just using that momentum here to start to get a feel for it. Maybe you begin coming up a little bit higher. If you would like to try it out, again, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. You can see if you can come all the way up. The momentum certainly helps. And then once you get there, we will meet in a warrior three. Take a breath here. That can be a lot if you've never tried playing around with that before. If you'd like to make this a little bit more intense, your arms can reach out in front of you. Or you can stay with your hands at heart center, breathing through it. Maybe that left leg is shaking a little bit. And when you're ready, left hand will come down to the mat. We're gonna open up into half moon. So that right hip is stacked on top of the left. Left toes are pointing forward. Right toes are flexed. Your gaze can be down by your left hand, over to the right side, or eventually maybe up to the right hand. Play around with it, see what works. Be okay if you fall out. And on your exhale, we're gonna bend into that left leg. Send the right foot back, landing in warrior two. Your heels are in line here. Arms are reaching out through both fingertips. Flip that front palm, inhale, exalt it back. Left arm reaches towards the back wall. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the left foot. Kick it back, take your vinyasa flow. And meeting in downward facing dog. Take a moment here to pedal out the feet. And on your inhale, left toes lift. On your exhale, start to walk those hands back towards that right foot. Coming into standing splits. Try to keep that left hip square. It's really tricky with this one. And on your exhale, bend the left knee. Bring it back behind the right knee, taking that Shiva squat. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, Shiva squat. Remember, these hands can be lifted if you'd like that extra challenge. Exhaling it to Shiva squat. Last one will inhale, lift. exhale, squat. Inhale, lift, hold it here. On your exhale, you'll flex those left toes. Try to bring it all the way through, placing it out in front of you and letting yourself come down to a seat. So that left leg is out long, right knee is bent. Inhale, arms will lift. And exhale, coming towards your left foot. Maybe you've got that grip. Maybe you have your shin. Meet yourself wherever you are at. If you'd like to take that bind, that right arm can reach around. Left hand can come to grab it. And once you have it, open that left shoulder up. Take a deep breath here. Slowly starting to unwind. Right hand will come back behind you, left arm rises. Then hook it on the outside of that right knee, gazing over the right shoulder. Coming back into center. We get to play around on the opposite side. Now you might see that one side works a lot better for you than others. Better on my right-handed, some better on my right leg. Maybe that'll be the same for you. Maybe not, maybe both sides are just not gonna work, and that's okay. So when you're ready, we'll roll back. We're gonna start to let that left leg come out long, pushing down through the right foot. Seeing how much you can lift your hips up. Just getting comfortable with that before you actually try to go up a little bit higher. Finding that balance. That left leg doesn't need to be perfectly straight. It's not for me. And maybe coming up a little bit higher. Pushing through that right foot. Whenever you are ready, trying to come all the way up. Notice I had to bring that right knee back. Left knee back, that's fine. Meet in that warrior 3 whenever you're ready. If you want to keep practicing for a moment longer, that's fine. Pull the left hip down, flex the left toes. Try to push through that heel. So you're keeping that engagement through the left side. Arms can reach out in front. Or maybe you try that and you're like, yeah, no, I don't want to. That is fine. This is your practice. When you've had enough of that, place that right hand down on the mat. Left arm rises, coming into half moon. Left hip stacks over the right hip. Breathing through this. Start to bend a little bit into the right knee. Your exhale will come into warrior 2. Check that alignment, make sure those heels are lining up. Reach through both fingertips. Flip the right palm, reach forward. Inhale, exalt it back. On your exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame that right foot. Kick it back. Take your flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Pedal out those feet. Then on your inhale, right toes rise. Start to walk those hands back. Coming into that standing splits, that right leg is lifted. And on your exhale, bend the right knee, right back to Shiva squats. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, take that squat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squat, last one. Inhale, lift, hold it here. On your exhale, bring that right foot all the way through, coming back into that seat. So that right leg is long out in front of you. Inhale, let the arms rise up. And exhale, folding over that right foot. Maybe pulling yourself a little bit closer this time. If you'd like to go for that bind again, go ahead. Maybe one time was enough. And on your inhale, let your arms rise back up. This time, bring the left foot over the right take a little bit of a deeper twist. If this doesn't sound good, you can always stick with where you were before. Left hand will come back behind you. Inhale the right arm up, and exhale it over to the left side. Gazing over that left shoulder. Inhale back to center. On your exhale, we're going to twist over to the right side, taking a little bit of a counter stretch here. If baby grasshopper is in your practice or you'd like to try it out, we'll go through that real quick. Otherwise, you can just hang out right here and enjoy the stretch. So right hand is a little bit behind that right hip. Left hand is going to reach down to grab the outside edge of your right foot. So this can also come onto your shin, your calf, that's fine. Left toes are pointing towards the long edge of your mat. We're going to start to shift the weight forward so your chest comes down, then push up through your left heel. Real grasshopper is very, very difficult. Baby is a lot more accessible. I'm still working on regular grasshopper too. You're not alone. On your exhale, release that down. Come back to center. Left foot will come on the inside of that right. We'll take those pistol squats once more here. So we're playing around with it that second time. This is the second time technically on the left leg. So again, for some that may be a little bit harder, for me it always is. It's like a 50-50 chance if it'll go all the way up or not. Just playing with it, working on that strength, getting the feel of it, and maybe coming up a little bit higher. And then eventually using that momentum to push yourself all the way up. Or seeing how far you go. If you come halfway up and fall right out of it, that is fine. You are home. This is a safe space to play around. Just smile when you fall. And we'll meet in Warrior 3 whenever you've had enough of that. Pulling the right hip down. Let's reach our hands back behind us this time, taking those airplane arms. Point through the right toes. Pull those fingertips back. And on your exhale, left hand's gonna come down. Right arm rises, opening up into that half moon pose. Right hip is stacking over the left. You can stay right here or bend the right knee. Your hand can come back to reach onto that right foot, coming into your sugar cane pose. Opening up through the chest, pull the right shoulder back. One more breath here. This is a lot on the left leg. If you're feeling it, you're supposed to. Release that right foot if you took it. Bends a little bit into the left leg. And on your exhale, land back in Warrior 2. Check that alignment, settle in. Flip the front left palm, reach forward. Inhale, exalt it back. Feeling that opening through the left side body. And on your exhale, we'll lift back up this time. Straighten through the left leg. Reach the left fingertips forward, coming into triangle pose. Left hand can come down onto that shin. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Check your alignment here, making sure that left shoulder is over your left knee. Imagining that you are a piece of toast being slotted into a toaster oven. Everything must be in line here, so we don't want that chest to be way forward. Take one more breath. And on your inhale, we're going to come all the way back to that exalted warrior, rebend into the left knee. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Kick that left foot back. Take your flow. Meeting back in downward facing dog. One more side to go. Pedal the feet out, take a breath. And on your next inhale, left toes rise. On your exhale, walk those hands back towards your right foot. Coming into those standing splits. And Exhale, bend the left knee, bring it back behind the right, sinking down, Shiva squat. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, Shiva squat. Those hands can come up here as well. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Shiva. This is the last one. Inhale, left leg rises. And on your exhale, bring that left foot all the way through. See if you can lift it up so you're not touching the mat. Come all the way down to a seat. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, reaching to grab onto that left leg. Again, you can grab the foot, the shin, wherever you are at is great. If you'd like to take the bind, go ahead. And on your inhale, start to walk your hands back up. Crossing the right foot over the left leg. And bring the right hand back behind us. Left arm rises. Bring it to the outside edge of the right knee. Taking that twist. Gazing over the right shoulder. Inhale it back to center. On your exhale, we'll come over to that left side again. You can just take the counter stretch here. Or if you'd like to play with that baby grasshopper, left hand plants. I like to put it a little bit diagonal from the left hip. When it's in line like that, I find it a little more challenging. Bring the right hand to the outside edge of the left foot. Right toes are pointing towards the long edge of your mat. Lift. First, lift the chest. What am I saying? Bring the chest a little bit further forward. You're shifting your weight so that when you push up, it's a little bit of a less of a push in order to do that. That left elbow is way out wide. Taking a breath here. And on your exhale, let those hips come back down. Coming back to center. Right leg will come out long. We're going to play around with the pistol squats on this side as well. This time the right foot is what you're pushing off of, that left leg is out in front of you. So again, maybe this side is a little bit easier for you. If you are right-handed, that might be the case. Might not be. Breathing through it, pushing yourself up a little bit higher maybe. Now that you are nice and warm. And maybe on the next one, whenever you feel comfortable, try to push yourself all the way up. Meeting in that warrior three. Taking your time to get here. You can play longer if you'd like. Again, it's fine if you make it almost all the way up and then pull down. We've all done it. When you're ready, you'll start to bring your hands back behind you, taking those airplane arms. Flexing through the left toes, push to that left heel so you're keeping that leg activated and engaged. And now sounds like a good time to come into half moon. Right hand comes down. Stack the left hip over the right. Left arm reaches up high. Bends the left knee. Left hand reaches back to grab it if you'd like. Coming into sugar cane pose. And releasing that left foot. Bends into the right knee. Coming into warrior two. Flip the front palm, reach forward. Inhale, exalt it back. And slowly coming up, straighten through the right leg. Reach the right fingertips forward. Dropping down into triangle pose. Taking a breath here. Checking that alignment. Pulling the chest back. And on your inhale, we're going to rebend into that right knee. Right arm reaches back. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the right foot. Kick that back. Take your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing. Pedaling out those feet. And whenever you're ready, we're going to slowly walk our feet up towards our hands. And then just bring our seat down. You made it. Good job. Start to engage that core. Slowly allow yourself to come all the way down onto your back. Letting the left leg come out long. Bring the right knee in towards your chest. Squeezing it in tight, breathing. Release the right hand and using your left hand, guide your leg across your body, coming into a supine twist. That right arm can come out to the side, either in a T or that right arm can be straight. Maybe your gaze follows. On your next inhale, start to bring that right knee back. Maybe giving it one more squeeze, and allowing it to come down to meet the left. Inhale, pull the left knee in. Right leg is long. Release the left hand using the right arm. Guide it across your body, taking that supine twist. Left arm can come out long. Or using that cactus arm, that T shape. Just taking a breath here. Allowing yourself to release down onto your mat. One more breath. And on your inhale, start to bring that leg back into center, squeezing it in tight before you let the left leg come out long. Letting your arms drift up overhead, taking a full body stretch through the fingertips and toes. And on your exhale, bring both of your knees in towards your chest. Maybe a gentle sway side to side. Massaging through that low back. And coming back into center, let your knees separate. Reaching your fingertips through to grab onto the outer edges of your feet. And allowing them to shine up towards the ceiling, coming into happy baby. Maybe you continue with that sway side to side if that feels good, or you can stay in stillness. Trying to bring that tailbone down onto the mat. Perhaps trying to straighten out through one leg at a time. And gently bringing those feet back down, taking any other last movement that you might need in order to settle in for your final Shavasana pose. It could be bridge, wheel, or just simply swaying your knees side to side, whatever level sounds good to you today, level of effort, go for that. Whenever you feel like you are completed with that movement, set yourself up for your final Shavasana pose. Your legs can be out long. They can be up against the wall if you have one near you. Palms maybe are facing upwards to allow that energy to come in. Having the chest to rise, maybe the eyes to close. This can sometimes be the hardest part of your practice. Fighting the urge to quickly jump up and get on to the next thing. Allow yourself just 1 minute just to notice if there's any differences that you feel in the body after that practice, to release any judgments, any thoughts you have about it. Simply to pay attention to your inhales and your exhales. I will let you know when it is time to move. Allow your thumbs gently press against each fingertip. Wiggling out through the toes. And rolling the wrists and ankles as you allow your arms to drift up overhead, taking a full body stretch. On your exhale, bring your knees in towards your chest. Gently swaying side to side, or allowing yourself to roll onto whatever side sounds good to you today.
Pausing here for a moment before we go back out into the rest of our day. Thinking of one thing that you are grateful for today. When you are ready, pressing your hands, using your top leg to push yourself up into a seated position. Together we will take a deep inhale, lifting your arms up overhead, bringing in all of this positive energy. And exhaling, bringing your hands through your third eye, meeting at heart center. Taking one last inhale here, deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Thank you all for taking the time to practice with me today, but also with one another, whether we are in the same room or not. I will see you on the next video.